Hi there. I'm just wishing you so much good luck within these Corona times. Um, Corona times is maybe a perfect time to learn more about yourself and to learn more about how the world functions, what your future might look like. But of course, there's also the factor of no control. So this shows us that we are co-creators with the world. Whatever we do to our world will come back one way or another. So how about we co-create with our world and decide how we're gonna make it function better? Okay, so we always have this chance, and this is what history showed us as well. Part of it is, though, not in our control. So we are ruled also by bigger forces. If you go outside now in the nighttime, you will see the sky turning different colors. You will see the darkness settling in, and this means that you didn't control that. It's something else. It's called nature. It's the universe. It's bigger than you. So we have to ride the wave one way or another. But we're not powerless. We are like surfers on the wave, or maybe you have a boat or a sailing boat or a ship, or you swim. Yeah, so it's scary at times as well, because water is a scary thing, but can also be super relaxing if we ride the waves in a good way. If we are a good swimmer, if we're a good surfer, we will enjoy it so much. So, are you into water sports? Are you into swimming or just floating around on the pool? Or can you imagine a river and kayaking or something? Can you imagine, or is it just also something in your brain that you can relate with? So, what does that mean? That means that we need to have a balance between letting the control and taking control. Okay, so it's like a sport, and that's what life is. Life is like a sport. And the older we become, the more challenging. We deal with the things that we've decided to do when we were younger. So it's not when we grow up and we become adults, everything becomes so super simple and easy and we figured it out. No, actually, we deal with the consequences that have come after making decisions when we were younger. Decisions as well as decisions about ourselves. So knowing yourself is really important because this means you can work with your inner world and start making decisions that are really the best and the best in best interest. So being close to yourself means that you can make better decisions for yourself. So these decisions are not based on what the outside world has decided for you. So, what could you be doing to know yourself better? So think about those things. What could you be doing to know yourself better? And what would it look like for you to start knowing yourself better? So now imagine what you would be doing, even if it's like a not doing something. So not doing like a meditation, reading a book, writing, drawing. Those are also doing things. And what would it look like? So what would that look like? How would that feel? In other words, how would that feel? So we can start imagining ourselves doing things that we don't usually do. How would that feel? So maybe cooking would be something as well. Look, my fingers are all yellow from the cooking that I did last night in a time that you wouldn't consider for cooking. I did that maybe at 10 p.m. But as a result, the next day, my family could eat from this well-cooked food that I cooked in silence, although my one kid also helped me, so I delegated. This is called delegating. I delegated a task to my eldest kid, and then he went to bed, and actually I managed to finish the cooking in peace and quiet. And the next day we had a family dinner, which really doesn't happen that often. So and now I want to introduce to you, when could you be doing this thing of knowing yourself and what it would look like. When could you be doing that? When is a good time for you to do that? Do you have an answer yet? So if maybe this timing seems off, maybe it's not. Maybe it is the good time for you to do that. We don't usually need our daytime hours only. We can take, for example, a nap in the afternoon or sleep in. All right, so we're talking here about some time management. As you can see, time is fluid. We all have the same hours each and every day. Okay, so every human on this earth gets 24 hours a day and 7 days per week. But every human being uses his time differently, partially because they are unique. So your unique being wants to use their time in a specific way. Another being would do it differently, but that's okay. We want to look for the unique being that you are. But again, knowing yourself is a great factor in time management, because maybe you're not doing all the things that you would really want to do with yourself in that time. So are there some things that you would rather be doing as well? And of course, we have to keep in mind that these times are special times. So what would you be doing around your house or through the internet? And things that you didn't have time for previously, or with other people but through a safe distance, or with your family members or pets. So make a list of those things that actually are part of you, but that you didn't do yet before. So for me, for example, I would be more sporty. I have a good physical, sporty attitude, but I don't use it. So actually I should be, but I didn't train myself to use it. So every day I'll be doing a little bit of a sport. Whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes doesn't matter. Whether it's an hour, to me it doesn't matter. I need to discover my physical attitude. So what is it for you? Are you working on that list? So this is all part of you, but it's parts of you that you didn't have time for before, or that you denied, or you were discouraged to actually do, because people around you don't always have your best interest, okay? Or they don't always believe in you, or they don't believe in the thing you want to do. So need to listen to yourself. So know yourself and be firm and close to yourself. Your feelings do count. Alright, so now that you've got a clear picture of everything that you would want to be doing if you knew yourself a bit better, let's talk again about time management. What is time, and how come everyone has the same time is not doing the same things? And how do we manage time? So by a research of Harvard University in the Business Review, you can look it up. It says that we should not manage time, we should manage our energy. So meaning that you don't always have the same energy for the same thing. So your energy directs you in what you should be doing that particular time of the day. If your body is weary and tired and is actually wanting a nap, it's a great time to do a nap. But if it's weary and tired and it actually is a bit frustrated and restless, it's a great time to do your sports. And if you are inspired and you feel you're really inspired by life, nothing can stop you, that's a great time to work on your creative projects. Or learning, right? So we actually check in with our energy, and that's when we do the things. And Corona times is an excellent time to do that because no one will keep you to a very tight schedule. But from the other hand, we have structure. So following the energy is like following the river of flow. It's the river of life. Just see what life is giving you at that certain moment. But there's also a thing called structure. So if you make a schedule of your week, then and this will be broken down into a schedule of your day, then you have something to hold on to. For your mind, for your monkey mind, this is a great way to understand that there is some structure involved. Okay, and then you can still follow the flow of things and, turn things around a bit. So, like I mentioned, cooking at night is not a bad idea, but it might have not been in your original structure, and it might have been like you will put it in the night times or early mornings. So cooking is actually a creative activity. That's basically it, right? It's like an artistry. So maybe do it at a time so you can actually discover a new recipe or get that recipe right. All right, so what else could we use as a structure model? How can you structure time instead of really structuring time? How can you look at it differently? Yeah, so maybe look at the tasks at hand and then structure them into a time frame. But how I like to see that is, let's see at what creative project you're working. So take your creative project, take one, the most important one from your previous list, then break it down in what you need. Which tools do you need and what do you need to do in order to do that creative project? So do you have all the tools at hand? These are already tasks for you. Then in the next list, write down what does the activity actually or the project actually involve. So after having all the tools, maybe you needed to do some shopping or swapping, then break down the list of what is the project actually telling you to do. So for me as a writer, for example, I do need my laptop. I do need my laptop and I do need a power outlet. So then on my laptop, I'm gonna be concentrating on writing. I'm not gonna be distracted by other things, but I'll also do some research. And I'm gonna save the documents, saving on Google Drive, for example. So this is my constant process of working on this project. Writing, concentrating, researching, saving. All right, so that's like what I need to do as an author. Now, what are the things that you need to do to be working on your artistic project? If it's cooking a recipe, you need the recipe, you need the ingredients. That was on your first list. On your second list, you write down, I need a clean kitchen and I need to concentrate. I need people not to bother me and I need to start using my ingredients. Maybe you want to add some music on the background. Alright, so this means maybe your tasks, which actually is the creative project, okay, it's not just tasks, it is your artistry. You need to see how you can divide them in a day or a week. For example, could you be shopping for the ingredients one day and then the next day you cook? So you divide it up in the days of the week. And take 1 week so at least you get it done within the week. Of course, when you're cooking, you wouldn't want your ingredients to perish. So, for example, let's just make sure that any art that you're going to work on is going to be within the time frame of a week. So, again, for example, I'm recording these messages for you, but it requires a lot of organization from my hand, from my side. So I need my laptop, I need to know what I'm gonna talk about, I need to structure it in my mind, I need to be ready, I need to present. And without too many people bothering me. And then I don't want to do one message, I want to do several. So maybe I want to do 7. So that means maybe I could do one every day of the week. That way, by the end of the week, I have 7 recorded messages. But that doesn't mean that it's done yet. These videos need some editing, and they need to be sent out with a description. Maybe it needs a platform or some tools. It needs to be accessible for you. So I actually have to spend some extra time. And that time, I might not have that time. So that time, I would dedicate and delegate it to someone else that has more knowledge about editing and that can do it more swiftly. Now that someone else, because we're talking about online world, doesn't need to live in Bahrain. But they might. So it might be you actually that wants to practice this skill of editing videos and content. So is that you? Would you like to discover social media, content creation, video editing, branding? I'm a coach, so I need to be branded. And I have many other tasks that need online attention, which I don't know how to do, but you might. So their 4th list is going to be which tasks can I delegate. And these tasks are not just tasks, they are other artistries, okay? And they are other things that other people are talented at. So maybe you don't have the patience for cutting cucumbers or cutting carrots or juicing them. So you might ask someone else in your household to do that task. Maybe someone doesn't, maybe someone else is already juicing something. So ask them to juice your carrots so you can actually have your carrot ginger juice in the morning because you are going to work on your internal health. All right, so let's see on the list number 4, which artistry tasks can you delegate? Maybe you have a colleague or maybe a teacher that you need to ask about something, an expertise, but maybe you have a colleague that knows better, or maybe you have a colleague that can help you out with your task. Alright, I'm gonna leave you here because we already reached 15 minutes with this video alone and I was gonna keep it under 20 minutes. So with my introduction, this will be a nice video for you to work on your time management with your artistry, and I wish you so much luck. Please share with me what you've accomplished in a week.